I thought the match was very high quality. I feel like I was saying to my coach, I feel like I got no free points in that match, and same with her. I don't think I was giving away any free points, despite the double faults. But I'm super happy with how I played. It was mentally a tough and physically a tough match, but I think that shows all the practice is coming together.
Well, congratulations as you move on. Questions? Ava, in the back.
Coco, congrats on the win. Ava Wallace from the Washington Post. Just wondering how you, as a young player, kind of go about making expectations for yourself in terms of saying, I am young, these things are going to come naturally, cutting yourself some slack. And then on the other side saying, but I want to be number one in the world and win a Grand Slam. Like, how do you kind of figure out how to talk to yourself about that stuff?
Yeah, honestly, just taking it one match at a time. That's the best way to go about it. And I feel like when you focus too much on a goal, it kind of can consume you a little bit. So I think right now I'm just taking it one match at a time.
Mark?
Mark Berman, New York Post. You mentioned your practice paying off and going back on the court after a match. Like, what's the strategy? What are you trying to do? Are you already thinking about Garcia or what?
No, we're not thinking about the next opponent after the match. Really, it's just to work on anything. I mean, there's some days you feel great about a shot, and there's some days you don't, and then you go back and fix it. I mean, well, today, I don't even know what we did. We just serve, really. Sometimes it's really just about it's more so also like the mental fitness of it all. I feel like practicing afterwards has prepped me mentally for these long matches because I'm finishing a match, and whether it's a easy win or a tough win or a tough loss, coming back out, I think mentally is preparing me to play these second weeks because, to be honest, as I've played Grand Slams, I've noticed that physically is never a problem for me. It's more about doing the mental with the press and, just dealing with everything. And I feel like French Open, I proved to myself that I can do it. And I practice after a lot of matches in French Open, so it's been working for me, so I keep going.
Okay. Matt?
Matt Futterman from the New York Times. You're so animated out there, I think more so than in Paris, significantly more, whether it was the Matumbo thing or I don't know what you want to call this.
That was supposed to be like a period, like City Girls period, like City Girls. It's a City Girls summer period. Okay. That's what it is.
I'm an old guy. So
JT, Young Miami, you don't know?
I'm 53 years old.
It's supposed to be like period. You see, I got my long nails. It's supposed to be like that, Okay.
Is that you feeding off the crowd, or is it planned, or what is all this stuff?
It's feeding off the crowd. I told my team after the match, I was like, for some reason, I'm so much more animated. I feel like I found like a chill, but I think it's balancing the both. It's the crowd, really, because I feel like sometimes when you're playing on the smaller courts, or not even a smaller court, because France was on Chartier, but maybe I feel like it's not as loud, and you can hear yourself scream, and I find that awkward for myself. Here, I can't hear myself scream, so it makes me want to do it more. But I think I'm feeding off the momentum a lot, and I enjoy it. I think New York is bringing out a side of me that I haven't had since I was 15, so it's nice.
Okay. Howard?
Hi, Coco. Howard Fendrich with the Associated Press. I was going to ask about that, but let me just ask if you could describe what the atmosphere and sound of the crowd was like for you out there today. Is it different from what you're used to in the tennis world?
Way different. I was saying on this 6-5 changeover, people were saying, "Let's go, Coco," and I was literally like trying not to smile, because I guess I could have ended up smiling. My coach says I need to smile like more often, but I could have. But I was like, I got to stay in the zone. So, but inside, I was definitely like, I was trying my hardest not to smile because I was like, this is just like surreal moment for me. On Arthur Ashe Stadium, people are chanting my name, and I feel like I'm at an NBA game. And I think that's the special thing about tennis. Like, you go to a football game or NBA game, people are chanting the team's name, and yeah, that's great as a player. But like, for you to have the whole crowd chanting your name specifically is something that I won't take for granted.
Okay. Willie, go ahead, Howard.
Sorry, just to follow up on that, is there a challenge at all to stay focused and stay in the moment and not let that distract you at all, or maybe that's not even a worry? I don't know.
I think it depends on the player. For me, though, I just feed off of it. I think it helps me more. But, I mean, for some players, they prefer a more chill, relaxed environment. But for me, if anybody see me play, you know that I like to get pumped up, and the New York crowd seems to like it, too. So when the moment's right, sometimes I can't even control. I don't know what my reaction's going to be after I win a point. I wasn't thinking about Mutombo when I did that. I was just saying, like, I felt like a wall out there. Like, she was running me so much, and I was like, you can't get past me today. It's the CG1s.
Willie?
Congrats, Coco.
Thanks.
Willie Weinbaum from ESPN. You next play one of the hottest players, if not the hottest player on the tour right now. What are your observations of her game and your experiences in facing her that might affect this next match?
I mean, she's obviously a great player. I've felt that, even though she's had ups and downs. But I think right now she's playing probably the best tennis I don't know. She might think, I think she's playing the best tennis that she's played in a long time. So it's going to be a challenge. And when you play these players that are hot, you just got to, I think it's more of a mental challenge. You just had to accept that she's going to hit some great shots, because I know she will. And, but I think my mentality has been great. I feel like two similar opponents, like Maddie Keys, who can hit some unbelievable shots from the wings, and same with Shuai today. She was hitting some great shots, and I think I was doing a good job of just accepting it, clapping my hands, and moving on to the next point. So I think I'm going to have to do that for the next match.
Anything that you might have learned from facing
yeah.
Garcia before?
I mean, last time we played was in Doha. I don't even, to be honest, I probably have to go back and watch. I feel like that's so long ago, but I think it's more so I have to watch her recent matches, because I feel like I said, I think she's just a different player from when I played her. When was Doha? I don't remember what time of the season that was, but earlier this year.
Okay, Helene.
Yannick Schneider, Irish watcher from Germany. Obviously, you're here to play a tournament, and you play very well, but you, on a regular basis, wade in on different topics that you're interested in. I'm just curious if you want to answer it, if you saw the comments from Victoria Azarenka 2 days ago about coaches-players relationships, and quote that they're on the left and on the right, difficult relationships between coaches and players. Obviously, also Fiona Ferro, the French player, and her very difficult story. Just want you to know your opinions on that, if you have an opinion, and what your from the last 2-3 years on tour. What did you see, maybe?
Well, I didn't see Vika's comments, so I don't want to comment on that. But I did, hear about Fiona's story. And I think for me, I want to say it takes a lot of courage to speak out about something like that, for something so personal. And I think you have to reason why she spoke out, I feel like she probably had to process it herself and get through it herself. And then maybe I think by her speaking out creates more awareness of it. I would say me personally, I didn't notice anything like in that type of way. I feel like if I did, I would definitely say something. And I think it's unfortunate, the situation, but I wish her all the best, and I hope that the situation doesn't repeat. Because I feel like it's a lot of in tennis sometimes that it happens, and it's the coaching relationship in tennis I feel like is different than other sports. It's a lot more personal, so I feel like with her, I think I only can say I hope she's the best. I hope she's doing well now. Oh, sorry, my alarm went off. I hope she's doing well now, and I want to say kudos to her for speaking out about it, because I always say you never know what somebody else is going through. So I hope that her message unfortunately reaches somebody who might have gone through the same situation.
Okay. We're done.
It's okay.
Players are being exploited right and left on the tour. I just want to be
Right and left. I don't really understand the comments for that, so I don't want to comment on it. That's the only thing, but it's not me running away. I just don't understand what she said exactly.
Well, thank you for answering.
No problem.
Hi, Helene Elliott from the Los Angeles Times. Just wanted to ask you that sometimes in this sport we've seen where athletes who have success when they're young, it becomes overwhelming. The expectations grow, the pressures grow. We've seen, for example, Naomi Osaka struggle with some of that. How have you managed to stay on a seemingly more even keel? Is it support group around you, family? How do you do it?
I think it really comes down to my family. I feel like they never really put pressure on me to do anything, and I'm not saying that other players, but I just feel like in my head, it's been a process with me, and I think For sure, I felt the pressure. And for sure, I felt, the expectations. But I also think it's in my head, stepping on the court, I feel like all of that goes away. So I'm just lucky that I'm able to find that mindset. And it took me a while to find it. Like I said, Madrid was a breakthrough moment for me. So I think it's all about every player's journey, personal journey. And yeah, it really just depends on your personal journey, because what works for me it probably won't work for somebody else. And I hope I can stay in this mindset, but I can't speak for the future.
Mark, you have a question?
Yeah, I mean, two great rallies by you in both late in the first set, late in the second set. Is that like a thing that maybe 2 years ago here, maybe you wouldn't have been able to come back in both sets? Is that the maturation of you in a Grand Slam?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely being mature. I feel like I always realize the importance of every point, but even sometimes if you lose a set, like if you come back from 4-1 and give that person a hard time, it mentally does something to the other player. So I just try my best to fight for every point. And I think I was always fighting for every point, but I think I'm doing it in a smarter way. And I think that just comes from learning from the same mistake over and over and over again. And all I can do is keep learning, and hopefully I can keep getting better at it.
Hi, Coco. Darcy Main from ESPN.com. You have played every match this tournament on Ashe. Are you getting comfortable playing in that kind of environment? And especially today, is this sort of the atmosphere you dreamed about as a kid, playing in front of and people chanting your name?
Definitely. I would say I am getting more comfortable. The first couple times on Ashe, I was very nervous. And I don't know, I was really shocked. Well, my first round, I was shocked that I was being put on Ashe. And then, it happened again the second round. And then at that point, I figured maybe it would keep happening, especially like when Serena was playing. I was like, this must be like a perfect lineup for viewers. You have me playing first and then closing out with the GOAT. Like, that's crazy. So I think I was honestly, it's always been a thing with me. I feel like when I look at the order of play, and I see I'm playing it in front of Roger or Rafa or Serena or Novak, I get a little bit more nervous just because I'm like, I know they know how I'm doing because they have to get ready after me. So that's why it makes me more nervous. But I am getting more comfortable playing on the bigger courts.
Okay, last two, Bill, and then right here. Go ahead.
Hi, Coco. You're young, you're successful, you're doing so well here, but what is the best part of being on the tour, of being Coco, and what's the downside? Is there one problem that...
I would say the best part is definitely just experiencing personal reactions with people when you meet them. I think every time it just makes me take a step back. I feel like, and I never want to take this for granted, and especially with the kids, I remember I think it was after my third round match, she started crying after I signed her ball and I gave her a hug, and it just almost brought me to tears too, because I was it's just I don't know. I never thought I would have such an impact on a person, and I know it's multiple people now, but that's the best part. And honestly, there's some downsides. You're losing a lot every week, but I think it's the ups outweigh the bad. I guess the only downside is I've missed so many concerts at home. I missed The Weeknd, I missed Bad Bunny, I missed so many concerts. So that's the only downside.
Okay. Last question.
Hey, Dan Levinson with USTA. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Into the quarterfinal. Your regular doubles partner, Jessica Pegula, is in the round of 16 match tomorrow. Can you talk a bit about your relationship and what it would be like for you two to compete at this tournament?
Well, if we compete, that means we're both in the final, so that would be great. I would definitely love that. But yeah, Jessica's she's been great. She doesn't probably realize, but I've learned a lot from her on her mentality on the court. We all know she's probably one of the most relaxed, chill players on tour, and she doesn't get too high or down emotionally. So I try to model that a little bit. But it's been great playing with her. It didn't go our way to this tournament, but I have fun on the court, and it would be pretty cool to have an All-American final, but I don't want to look that far ahead.
This will be the last question. Kurt?
Coco, sort of a two-part question. First of all, who's better, Bad Bunny or The Weeknd?
Oh, God. I like the weekend a little bit better, but being from Miami, Bad Bunny's great too.
All right, and a little bit more serious question. Have you seen the women's tour is incredibly deep right now, and the quality of play, I think, is just, to me, phenomenal. Have you seen, in the time that you've been on tour, have you seen that improvement, and even just a couple of years in the quality of play?
Well, I don't know. I feel like it's a hard question for me to answer because, like, growing up watching the tour on TV, the quality looked really great for me. But I definitely think, like, being on tour and playing more matches, I would speak more so on my junior experience. I would say, you know, the first couple rounds in juniors, I wouldn't say easy, but you know you're going to win pretty straightforward. And I feel like on the professional tour, it's not. I think the thing that makes the WTA tour special is that when you have, you know, somebody like number one in the world playing somebody ranked maybe 100 in the world, I think it's not, people are watching it and not thinking, oh, the number one's player going to automatically win. And I think it's more so like she has a shot, she has a chance. And I think that was what makes tennis fun, because you never know what's going to happen. And I think that's what makes it enjoyable for me, because every day you come up and you just ready for the challenge, no matter what the ranking is or the situation is. And I think that's what makes tennis enjoyable for everybody.